Welcome to the Female VC Lab podcast. I have Tasneem here. Tasneem, in one line, give me your name, your title, and the name of your fund.
Tasneem Dohadwala, founding partner of Excelestar Ventures, and so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. What inspired you to become a venture capitalist or an investor?
I realized pretty early on in my finance career that I love the idea of meeting lots of different people, and venture allows you to do that. And I get to analyze lots of different technologies and markets, and that's the diversity of thinking and ideas and research that I get to do on a daily basis was super exciting for me. And then in terms of my companies, I really truly enjoy watching them evolve and grow, and each one has its own path, and building those relationships with the CEOs, it is something really special. So I love doing what I do.
What is your investment thesis and the motivation behind your thesis?
So our thesis is that we were looking for difficult, disruptive technologies that early stage founders bring to us. And so again, what I would call deep technological innovation. And we're also looking for, does that deep technological innovation, is there within the market it plans on going into, is there a market discontinuity? And is there a customer readiness? So a lot around product market fit, a lot around the market size, but the fundamental really comes down to how disruptive is that technology that we are going to be investing in.
Awesome. So, what is your definition of deep tech?
Well, I think it doesn't necessarily have to be something that is going into a market that nobody has done anything before. To really simplify it, it's a really hard technical problem.
Okay.
I want the companies to be, the actual solution should be something that was difficult to build, and
Okay.
it is solving a real pain point.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What are you currently learning or listening to or reading these days?
Oh, so this is going to be totally not related to my venture work. So
That's
hopefully
fine.
that's okay.
It makes it interesting
Yeah.
because that's why you're learning, listening, and reading to something hopefully potentially outside of what we do
Yes.
every day.
Yes. So I actually love to read fiction.
Okay.
I'm part of a book club. It is the way I unwind. It is a true pleasure. And I actually still read like real books that have like real pages because I
You
love,
mean a physical book?
yes, I did. I'm still old school like that.
That's good. I
Uh,
do have some physical books here as well.
yeah, yeah. The one I just finished reading actually that I loved was Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I thought the way that she was able to capture such an authentic voice with the protagonist is remarkable. And it was just a fantastic book, so beautifully written. And the one I'm reading currently is A Flicker in the Dark.
Okay.
And I love my suspense thriller books. And I'm actually pretty picky about them. I don't read any of them. They have to be really well rated because I want the writing to also be really good. I know this is going to sound so odd. The thriller books, in some ways, are very much like the work I do, as in each company,
Yes.
as I said, has a unique path. There's always something new and exciting that they're working on or something that's happening. And so just with each page, there's a new surprise. And with each day, each week, each month, there's a new surprise with our companies. And that's what makes venture so exciting.
Very true. Very true. So, bonus question, everyone gets it. In 2 years, how do you see venture capital and or investing having changed or evolved?
Ah, that's a good one. I like that one. You know what? I think I was actually just on a panel I was presenting at one of my alma maters, and there was a lot of question around what has happened in venture over the last decades, specifically around funding. What's the climate like? And I think over the last few years, I think there has been progress made in terms of funding female founders as well as underrepresented founders. And I think the progress is really in the direction of awareness. There's more people
Yes.
talking about it. We're actually noticing, we're tabulating the information. And I don't think anybody was doing that few years ago.
I agree with that.
There's still funds that are trying to figure out, okay, how am I gonna tabulate how many companies I see that have female founder or underrepresented minority founders?
This is very simplistic. It's a
It is
number. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? It's like
yeah, exactly.
count. All right.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
basic math. This is basic math.
But the fact is that we've not been paying attention to it. And
That's true.
at Excelestar, we've been paying attention to it honestly before most people have been paying attention to it. I'm pretty proud of the fact that 50% of our companies are led by females and 50% of our are led by underrepresented minorities. Obviously some overlap there. So we're proud of that. And so going back to your question, which is, as I look at the future, hope that we see more of that, and then we see more progress, and we see that there are more female founders, period, that they're getting dollars. I think right now, I looked at the stat last year, it was only 1.9% of all VC funding went to females. We got to do better than that. And so maybe in 2 years, we'll be a little better than that. And then in terms of, so that's in terms of the founders, I hope they come out. And I hope they find investors who care about funding them and get dollars from them. And I think in terms of the funds, I think the funds have to also start saying, if we want to make a difference, then we actually have to do something about it. We actually have to put dollars behind it. We have to reevaluate our policies. And instead of just saying, okay, these are our policies and we're going to hire more women and our policies are they are what they are. It's a one size fits all. I don't think that works. I think the way we change things is by saying, okay, if we want to really have an inclusive workplace and we want to have inclusive investing firms, then what do we have to change? How do we have to meet people where they are at to actually make that possible? And so I am hopeful in the next few years that we make more progress on this, because more of us are talking about it, more of us care about it. And I do believe we have the ability to do better.
I agree. So how do people contact you?
Oh, pretty easy. You can just email me.
Awesome. Just email. That's simple.
That is that simple. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm in the business of meeting people and evaluating companies. The more companies we get to evaluate, the better for us, the better for the companies. So it's super easy. I do office hours. So Excelestar runs their own office hours, as well as I'm a venture capital partner or advisor at Harvard Business School, and I do office hours there. Yeah, it's my job to meet people and learn about new companies, and I love it. So easy, email me.
Awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara. This was
Tasneem, for being my guest on the Female VC Lab podcast.
Thanks, Barbara.